Hello, welcome to Intuitive Insights interview series. I am your host, Megan McDonough, and I have with me the beautiful, talented, and amazing Karen Gruber. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Karen. Karen and I know each other from a intuitive course we took together, and she is just the most lovely being on earth and a soul sister of mine, and I'm so happy to have her here. Karen is a #1 best-selling author and international coach. She guides entrepreneurs and spiritual entrepreneurs and healers to transform their passion into a profitable venture. She empowers women to structure their soul-aligned businesses, attracting dream clients and generating consistent income. Karen's innovative approach blends business acumen with spiritual understanding, inspiring the growth of soul-aligned businesses worldwide. Hundreds of women have built successful, authentic businesses under her guidance, achieving a balance between spiritual fulfillment and financial prosperity. Also, her book, When Lions Roar, is absolutely fabulous. That book was so good. I'll launch into that right now. I mean, it was like, I had to put it down a few times because I was like, it was hitting just, your writing was just so, it like hit the bone, you know?
Yeah.
And it led you on this beautiful spiritual transformational journey, starting from like massive realism. You know, like it was so raw and real. I had to like put it down and be like, ooh. And then it just floated you into this beautiful, like, it's such a fabulous book. If you haven't got it, please get it. It's on Amazon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, Karen. Hi.
I am so excited to see you today. I'm so happy to be here. You are just glowing and radiant, and your energy is infectious. So I'm so happy to be here.
Stop more. So the reason why I wanted to bring you on here was I'm exploring this interview series that is launched from the podcast, the Intuitive Insights. And this week I talked about laughter. Now, you and I talk frequencies all day long, and we can talk it all day long.
Love the frequencies.
I love the frequencies. And shifting your frequency wherever you are. Laughter is the quickest way, forcing yourself to laugh, to just get out of your head, shift your frequency, get back into your heart and into the vibration of joy and love. And I know you teach something similar or use that like what language do you use and how do you utilize that in your coaching business?
Yeah, well, what you're talking about, I refer to as one of the universal laws, and that is the law of vibration.
Yes.
And where we are vibrating at a certain level and we keep getting the same results and we don't know why. And so we literally, like you talk about, joy and laughter and shifting that vibration, we have to raise that vibration so that we start attracting the experiences, the clients, the love, everything that we want. We need to be up here. But most of us, by default, our subconscious programming are vibrating down here and don't know why we can't shift things.
Right. Yeah. And I talked about that too, because like that's the whole idea between the Magnetize Your Light, the name of the, what I do in the company that I have. And so it's the idea is that it's not like we're all beings of light. Light is a frequency, light is a vibration. Yogic theory, philosophy says all things have vibration. Quantum physics says all things have vibration. But it's not just thinking and knowing, it's feeling too. It's the combination, like when the brain and the heart, like the heart has a brain. I read, did you see this article? I read some article. I have to find it and I'll put it in the notes, but that they discovered that the heart, it was something about like the heart molecules or atoms or whatever had their own specific, it's almost like they had their own intelligence. So it's like it's had their own, its own mind in a way.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, like when you're clearing stuff, when you're, like you're saying, elevating your business, elevating your life. If you clear it, you can clear it in your head, but if you don't clear it as well in your heart, it's like hard to shift completely.
That's amazing.
You know?
I had not heard that, but I totally believe that. Yeah, it's real, people.
It is. Do you have any tips and tricks? Like I use laughter, just the forced laughter. Do you have any tips and tricks for exploring how to just shift the funk?
Yes, I do. But I love yours. I mean, like laughter, there have been, I'm currently reading a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, something about like how to break the habit of being yourself. Because we all like it, and it's always a work in progress. We're so conditioned on a cellular and quantum level to be the person that we are. That when we try to shift out of that, like consciously, we're like, okay, I'm going to eat better, or I'm going to do this. Like everything inside of you is working against that. And so if you get too deep into it, it can be a little bit depressing. Like I'm never going to break free of this. But if you're hyper vigilant and you're doing things like there was a study about cancer patients who watched comedies versus those that didn't, and those that watched like crime documentaries and stuff, they were healing themselves on a completely different level when they were able to get lost in the comedic relief and laugh and vibrate at a higher frequency. And it is amazing to me what can be done. And what I wanted to just back up to and talk about a little bit more is when you brought up the fact that it's not just about thinking, right? So like the law of attraction, and I'm not dissing it, but the law of attraction is about thinking, you know.
Yes.
I want to think about this and I'm going to manifest it.
Right.
The law of vibration, which is interconnected, it's all connected, but takes it a step further, really integrates what you're saying. It integrates the emotions and the feelings and the thought and the action. So if you're vibrating down here, but you want to be up here in regards to, let's say, health, for example, you have the thought, okay, I'm going to eat better today, but everything's trying to keep you down here. Then you have to take action. You have to change your thought. You need to change your emotion. You need to get excited about eating differently and get excited about how you're going to feel when you're, 10 pounds lighter, or when you're making yourself healthy foods and working out or walking on a regular basis. Like you have to shift the energy, and you have to like act as if you already have lost that 10 pounds, or act as if you are already the person who eats in a healthy manner and enjoys it and loves it and is doing all these fabulous things for herself. And so it takes it further than the law of attraction, which is strictly just thought, which I don't believe works on its own. There has to be other components.
No, we're not just brains.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch more to us. And I mean, tell me if you feel the same way, but I also feel like what you give is what you get. Like the universe is always there, or whatever you believe in, God, universe, whatever. I call it universe because it feels less like a person, because I don't believe it is one. But it's like this higher than us, our comprehension energy, right? It's always there saying yes. So if your mind is all over the place, right, it's saying yes to everything, but nothing gets done because there are little tiny things happening. In addition to, like what you're saying, if you show up and do the work, like the universe matches your energy.
Yes.
So if you're putting in 10%, the universe will give you 10%.
Yep. Yes.
If you put in 100, it'll give you 100. And sometimes if you put in 100, it'll double down on you and give you like 200% because you are showing and proving that you're showing up. So it's like, it's the emotion, it's the action, it's the faith, that you're not in the driver's seat, that something else is. And then the thought pattern changing. I have an example of this. And this is kind of how I was like, oh, it's not just the thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how I met my husband, to be honest. And so I was going through, this phase. I was living in LA and I would meet people, but they were just the LA guys just weren't, I'm from Chicago. I like New York people. I like, I like to speak your mind, say what you want.
Yeah.
And that was not how LA was rolling out. And some guy had texted me and it was like, hey, if you want to hang out and whatever. I was like, you're making it sound like if I want to hang with you and play video games on your futon and order pizza. Like, no, like I'm a grown woman. No. So I had kind of come to this platform where I was bitching about LA guys in that way. And I was like, why can't a guy just say, hey, I like you. I want to take you out. Let's go. Right. Like, let's just see what happens, just having confidence and directness. And so I was, that was like my bitching platform. And I had gone out I had a horrible day. I met this manager. It was awful. It was awful. So I was at a comedy show. See, there you go. I was doing stand-up at the time, but I wasn't doing it. I was watching it that day.
Okay.
And met this guy. He was cool. Hung out with him. He walked me to my car. I don't really remember, whatever. I think he got my number. So I didn't think much about it. And then the next day I was at a party and bitching about I was on my bitching platform and my friend's husband was like, that guy doesn't exist. And I'm like, well, he has to, blah, 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 right? So then I left to go somewhere else and I had a voice text on my phone and it was my husband. And it was like, hey, this is, from the other night, this is this guy. And he's like, he goes, I've been thinking about it a lot. And I think what needs to happen is you and I go out Friday night, wear something nice, text me your address. And I was like, oh God. And I was like, well, I was asking for this. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, yes, I should. And then I text him and he's like, all right, be ready and whatever. And it started off as a horrible miscommunication, which we've used for comedy and drama ever since. But it was because I was passionate about the message.
Yes.
I was like, this is what I want. And this is what I need. And it literally came back to me exactly that way.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, there's something to this. You gotta have some chutzpah behind your words. You can't just have words.
Right. Right. Yeah. And these, as I'm learning more about all the universal laws, like when you said giving and receiving, well, giving is the first law of receiving.
Yes.
So, and that is giving from a generous, loving heart because you really want to, not the obligatory, oh, I have to do this, or I have to go with my mom, or I have to, it's not the resentful giving. It is the giving from a full heart and being
or the needy giving. Yeah. The needy, like I want something in return giving.
Exactly. But when it's from this fullness place and a love place, like you're talking about, I mean, I love how much you talk about love and light and all of that. That is when the universe responds in kind.
It does. And it's like, so I have this practice that, I've been doing, and not as much as I'd like, but is just the 5 minutes a day of just being quiet and still and listening. And what I call giving the mic to the higher self or to your intuition and your intuitive self.
Yeah.
Because it's this quiet little voice, and it's just it's always there. But we're so loud all the time.
Yeah.
Life is loud, we're loud.
Yep.
And the ego is real loud. And the ego is like always on the mic, like, is this thing on? Listen, I'm going to tell you what to do. And it's always like dictating to you and others and judging. And, the ego has an agenda. But the higher self is just like the quiet observer, guiding you on your. And so like taking 5 minutes a day to shut the ego down, say, step aside, sir, ma'am, being, and then just hand the mic to the tiny voice.
Yeah.
And the idea is hopefully that the voice gets louder, grows, and has confidence and trust and faith that you're gonna listen to them, so they'll speak up.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I love that. Is this thing on?
Yeah. No, they're constant. Yeah, the ego voice is loud, and the ego voice is so connected to the thinking voice.
Yep.
Whereas the quiet voice is connected to the heart. Heart brain.
Yeah. So true. So in a very roundabout way, you would ask me a question about how to raise your vibration, tips and tricks.
Yeah.
And my favorite, aside from laughter, which would be my number one go-to, what is better than laughter, is being in nature, just going outside and witnessing the abundance of life out there is so, to me, like the beauty and the abundance and the greenery and the little animals that are out there, that always for me raises my vibration. And then doing something for somebody else, even if it's just like a little text saying, hey, I hope you're having a great day. I know in one of your programs, you connect sisters together and they uplift each other in that way. And just the act of doing that, much less being on the receiving end of that, how delicious is that? But just the act of doing something even simple for somebody else helps to naturally raise your vibration. And I know, you and I, we're not like high vibe, man. It's not that. It's just this general, genuine being on a higher plane of vibration. I can feel, just since we got on this interview together, that already my vibration has raised.
Yeah.
Interacting
Definitely.
with others.
Yeah. Yes. Connecting. Yeah. Connecting on like, I would say like a soul level, but that sounds so woo-woo. But I mean, but it is, but that's fine. But like a more practical way is just like connecting in a way that is devout of personality and space and time, like, like all the material sources of the world, like,
and being able to see somebody, like really see them, instead of, what can I get from this person, or what do they want, or like, I find it so interesting. Like yesterday I was observing this, my phone rang and I picked it up, and it was this very nice gentleman who was looking for some information. And I got off and I thought, that's kind of different, because a lot of times the phone rings and we're like, oh my God, who is it? What do they want? I'm not going to answer this, myself included. But for some reason, when the phone rang yesterday, it was like, there was no question that I wasn't going to answer it and talk to this person. Yeah. And it was an absolutely lovely conversation. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, I want more of that. I like that. More, please.
Yes, more, please. I love that. Yeah, you can you made me think about, like, when you said the conversation. I have a new practice I'm getting a lot of telemarketer calls lately. For some reason, I don't know why, but maybe I have no idea. But so my favorite thing to do is, whenever I see it, it's so stupid and it makes me so happy. I do the automatic text that says I'm on my way. Because in my mind, I love that person who is telemarketing me is like, oh my God, wait, what? She's on her way. I mean, more often than not, it's not a cell phone number, but it just takes something that could make me feel like crap, and it brings me full delight. Like I get I have all these opportunities to make myself laugh today. I'm on my way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
true. Yep.
Yeah. Connection. Having that connection is is key. And I feel like, so I had this philosophy and thought that like 2021 were like the great tilling of the soil of humanity. So a lot of crap came up, literally and figuratively, because it was time to replant the soil. And I feel like it's not a coincidence that it's happening around the time that social communication, tech AI is all kicking up, right? And it happens like right in the midst of that and right before that. And that it was like a way for us to see how much we need to be seen, And
that is really interesting that you say that. I know personally, I found like going through that whole period and it's lingering still, is like I have become so super selective about who I spend my time with and where I put my energies, when before I was like trying to do it all and cover it all. And, I need everybody to love me. I need everybody to like me. And now it does, like tilling the soil. I love that analogy because it feels so different now. And it feels richer in the sense of the people that I am connected with now and the people I stay in touch with and the activities that I expend energy on and stuff. It just feels so much richer instead of collecting, like I got to collect this section of friends over here. And I gotta appeal to these clients over here. And I got to spread myself out instead of going deep.
Yeah.
I think I like it better.
I know. I did too. I'm actually was like, I'm kind of becoming a little bit of a hermit.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, I was going to ask you how, because you were in real estate before, right? Your husband. So how did you and why did you choose to make the jump over to coaching and specifically spiritually based entrepreneurs?
It was an evolution, but my husband is a bit older than I am. So I knew that there was going to come a time when we weren't going to be doing the real estate as a thing, as a business. Yeah. And I fortunately did have the luxury of time to kind of figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I always knew that it was going to be something around coaching or consulting or helping or, that part I had figured out. And the spiritual entrepreneur piece really evolved over time. And what I mean by a spiritual entrepreneur isn't necessarily that you have a spiritual business. Yeah. You are a spiritual being and you are pouring your heart and your soul into your business. And your spirituality is a component of that. So you could be a photographer or you could do real estate, or you could be an energy healer. And it doesn't matter. It's that you are your business. And that's what I was really seeing, this disconnect, is that the experts are telling everybody, you got to be a certain way. You got to do certain things on social media to be successful. And like, that wasn't me. And it wasn't most of the clients that I get to work with either. It's like, no, we have these unique pieces of ourselves that we bring to our business. And how do we do that in a way that feels good, that feels right, and attracts the clientele that's willing to pay us for our services? There's strategy and there's spirituality, and how do you bring it all together in a beautiful way that works? And so that was the disconnect that I was seeing. And that's what I kept getting messages like, you really need to help people earn money. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right as a spiritual person, money.
Right.
But what I came to was we we agreed to be on this planet in this moment in time and have this human experience, and our currency is money. And
right.
so we need to come to terms with that. And I help nobody, when I think about it in terms of me being poor does not help poor people, but me being financially abundant, I can help people. I can help them with my services. I can help donate to causes that I find worthwhile. Me being abundant is helping others achieve the same. And that is really what I help people come to terms with, in their businesses, and then how to strategically do it in a way that feels really great and plays to their strengths.
Yeah, you do it you have a beautiful way of weaving the two together,
Thank you.
You do. And I mean, like, I've been hearing a lot lately where I start to get in my head. I'm like, oh, I should do this and I should do, and what I'm hearing is like, just do what brings you joy.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And it goes back to what we were talking about with the vibration theory and the, frequencies, like staying in that frequency radiates that frequency, which generates that frequency to come back to you.
Absolutely.
But you also need the structure to place it into. And that's what you do, so well, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, that's and you're so right with the, the generating and the being in that place brings more. So it's almost like you have to find within yourself the courage and the fortitude to like take that leap of faith. And it's almost like once you're over that first hurdle, it becomes so much easier to maintain and to I'm not going to say always be in that place, but more and more frequently finding yourself within that frequency and in that place of joy and love and prosperity, and then it all works.
Yeah,
it's really quite extraordinary.
Yeah, I was thinking when you're saying that too, is that that money is, yes, a monetary vehicle for energy exchange.
It's energy. Exactly.
It's energy. It's energy, and the energy you put on it also, matters when you're trying to shift around. Sarah Blakely, do you know Sarah Blakely, who is the founder of Spanx?
Yes.
She she has some fabulous things that she said in some of her talks, but one of them is, she always checks in and listens to her she gives the higher self the mic to see if that's the way to move forward. So when you're talking about courage and fortitude, like to not only just have it, but to hear however you hear or take in messages from your intuition.
Yep.
And then have the courage to
act on it. Yeah. To act on it. Definitely. Yes. Your inner wisdom, your inner guidance system, intuition, whatever you want to call it, will never steer you wrong. And we're so afraid because oftentimes those messages are completely contrary to what the mainstream is shouting from the highest rooftops. And it's usually contrary to what we're seeing everybody else doing. And so it can be so hard to be like, okay, this is telling me one thing, but I'm just going to run with it. And crazy things happen. And it's like, I was just sharing yesterday. I won't tell the whole story, but the gist of it was I was working through, I'm always working on my own stuff, right? And it's like a spiral that spirals up. So I have my own money issues, and I was experimenting, and I bought myself a first class ticket for a trip I was taking. Nice. And yes. And so on the way on my trip home, I sat next to this lovely gentleman who turned out to be an athlete. I intuitively got this message that I need to send him this book. So I sent him the book, and this relationship continued from there. So now, like, is buying first class tickets going to be my strategy for marketing? No, that is not my new strategy for marketing. But because I am doing interviews, and because I'm out speaking, and because I'm doing, ads on Facebook sometimes, and because I'm participating in giveaways and things, the universe knows that I am open for business. Mm-hmm. And it is going to present me with some pretty random things and opportunities that I could never think up of in a million years, right? So it's not necessarily because I'm doing Facebook ads, I'm going to get clients from Facebook. But because I'm doing a combination of all these things, the universe is going to bring me opportunities because it knows I'm open for business and I'm ready to receive. So I love that.
No, I love that. I'm open for business and ready to receive. I feel like you could take that to anything, for love.
Yes.
Everything in life, whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm open to business. I'm ready to receive. I feel like that needs to be like a bumper sticker. Well, maybe.
I think it's going to be my new t-shirt.
Yeah, t-shirt maybe. Well,
or a mug.
Yeah, we might have to. That could go blue really fast. maybe it's not the best idea. But I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I was gonna. So I've been working with Karen as well on her mastermind group. Is it mastermind group? Am I saying it wrong? No.
Oh, the mastery program.
Mastery program. Yes. And do you have a new one coming up that you were talking about?
Yes, I am going to start a new cohort in August for the same program, same material, but a new group of participants in August, because I am just. Y'all have spoiled me in the sense at how dedicated you are and how you are showing up for yourselves and doing the work.
Yeah.
And getting results. And that is just, it's so exciting and it's so fulfilling for me to witness that and to get to be a part of your journey. So yes, I am going to do a second round starting in August, which I'm really looking forward to.
And if people want to sign up for that, it's KarenGruberCoaching.com. Is that correct?
Yes. You can reach me via email at Karen. Let me start. Email Karen at KarenGruberCoaching.com. And I think Megan can probably put that all in her notes. I will. But yes, in July, I have, a live experience happening that then rolls into the program itself. And I'm super, super excited about it.
It's great. It's, if you're doing anything as a spiritual person and an entrepreneur, it's hard to do it alone because we are connective creatures. We have to connect. We're pack animals, and we need each other. So this program is great for pulling everybody together and making you feel like you're not alone, helping you feel like you're on track, giving you bumpers so you don't go off the rails, or roadmap so you don't go in the wrong direction, or end up in the wrong city. But yeah, it's been wonderful for me. So
thank you. Good. I'm glad.
Really love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think, is there anything else you want to chat about? I feel like super lit up right now.
I know. So do I. I'm like, I can't wait to see what this afternoon brings. I just love to, encourage people that if you have a dream of how you want to express your mission, your purpose on this planet, something that you want to create that involves others, just don't give up. A lot of people don't understand our work and don't get it and don't see perhaps the value in it. And it can be really hard to explain, and it can feel like you're receiving a lot of judgment. Just don't give up. You are your dream's advocate. You have got to advocate advocate for yourself, for your dreams. You've got to take action. You've just got to make it happen, and leave the naysayers on the sidelines because it can be so hard and it can be so lonely. And, find your tribe, cook wagons with Megan. She is amazing and gets you, she gets it. And that is just so extraordinary in this lifetime, to be connected with people who get you and understand what you want to create in this life. So find your tribe and don't give up.
I could not say anything else more beautiful. That was like it was perfect. I love every ounce of that. As an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as all of the things. I resonate with that on so many levels.
Great. This is fun. I can't wait to see who else you invite into your space.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. Yeah, I've been, talking and, to myself. And I love talking to people. So I was like, wait, let's expound on these messages that come through, that because they're not just for me. Like, as you know, we've read each other before, and the messages that come through to you for the other person are also for you.
Yes. Yep.
Very rarely are they not also for you. Exactly. So it made me, that's why I started this, because all these messages were coming through that had a larger, more universal component that I felt the need to share.
Yeah, well, this is a beautiful platform, and I'm so honored to be a part of it, and can't wait to see everybody else and learn from everybody, and yourself included. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, that's it.
We're out.
Interview series of Intuitive Insights, and more to come. All right.
Bye.
Bye.